Hello and welcome to another What Sold on eBay. We're going to go over the top 10 items sold in the month of August 2020. These are going to be the top 10 items starting from number 10 all the way to number 1. And if you stay to the very end, we have a very special BOLO at the very end. It's a costume jewelry BOLO. It's a designer brand that you should look out for, and we're going to take a deep dive at the very end. So let's get right into the top 10 things we sold on eBay in the month of August 2020. Hope everyone is having an amazing day. Let's get started. First up, we have this Talbot Lago. This is a 1/18 scale Diecast car. This did not have a box. It is made from the company CMC. Now, I did do a quick video. Well, I wouldn't say quick, but I did a video on diecast cars. I'll leave a link above. You can check that out if you're interested in diecast cars. This one didn't have a box. There's some brands that are worth a ton of money, and CMC is one of those. Now, when shipping these, just be very careful about, side mirrors, doors, tires, hubcaps, little the antenna. There's a lot of things if you're shipping this without a box that you need to be very aware of. The bumpers. So if you're ever shipping these loose, just be very careful of all those different things. And like I said, these things, they're built pretty tough, but sometimes they can get smashed and damaged and stuff in shipping. So you want to kind of fix that. This sold for a total of $292. This is a really good sale, especially for something that didn't have a box. But like I said, check out my 1/18 scale video on diecast cars, and you'll get a basic rundown of the different things that you'll need to look for those cars. There's lots of diecast cars out there. There's some really, really crazy hidden gems, so I definitely suggest to go check that video out. Number 9 is this mantle clock. This is a vintage Linden, Germany chime cuckoo clock. Well, I don't know why I put cuckoo clock in there, because it doesn't have the little cuckoo bird. Maybe it was just something that I put in there from another listing. As we can see here, this is a really amazing clock, vintage. Pretty much looks really, really good. I had to kind of look inside it to find out the different kind of information on it. And so if you ever come across these clocks, usually if it's not on the bottom, just like everything else, if you pop these things open, usually on the brass kind of plate here, as you can see, you'll have pretty much all the information. And I think there was some other information here on the side. Let me see if I can actually find that. There was some information underneath, I think, one of these things, or maybe this was another cuckoo clock I was thinking of. These little pendulums, these little swinging round things, they usually come off. So if you're ever going to ship these, you probably want to take that off. Put some bubble wrap inside here, or some loose paper, something like that. You don't want to push on any of the electronics. It's not really. It's analog. What am I saying? Electronics. The components. You don't want to stuff bubble wrap in there and tweak out, because these are precision instruments. But you do want to put some paper, some tissue paper. Actually, I would say tissue paper is probably better in there. So during shipment, stuff is not rattling around. That pendulum could be rattling around in there. You don't want to break any of these components. They're finely made. Anything made in Germany, especially clocks and things like that, are going to be made to perfection. So any kind of little thing that gets bent or something gets out of shape could ruin the whole thing. And usually when we sell these clocks, I sell them, untested. This one we actually tested, and it's going to take a little bit of knowledge to know about these different clocks. These clocks you can go down a whole rabbit hole of cuckoo clocks and wind-up clocks, especially these kind of mantle clocks, they're called, because they're supposed to sit on top of a fireplace or a mantle or something like that. And so this one actually came with a key. As you can see here, it was taped to the bottom. There was a little bit of damage on the bottom, but the wood itself was pretty good. That's going to be a major seller too, by the way. If you ever go to a garage sale or a thrift shop or something like that, and you see one of these clocks, and they're incredibly damaged and everything, some of them are worth money, but the main thing is you want to make sure it's in good cosmetic condition, because any of the internal components can be totally fixed, swapped out, repaired. but it's very hard and difficult to repair, like the front glass on this dome right here. This actually swings open, and to wind it, you take that key and you put it in the front there. Clocks I can talk, an hour about, but this is just a brief little kind of explanation about cuckoo clocks. This is the brand right here, Linden. Usually the brands will be on the face, or like I said, if you go into the back of the components back there, you'll find all your relevant information, as we can see here. And like I said, anything made in Germany is very well made and something to take a definite look at. It's not like made in China. Made in China stuff, unless it's like antique, you want to stay away from. Made in Germany is something that is definitely really good, especially clocks, Swiss clocks, Swiss wristwatch, all those kind of things. So, are where the real money is for sure. This sold for a total of $338. So this is a really nice sale out in Burbank, California. And by the way, if you're interested in any of this stuff, we definitely have lots of items added every day, so definitely go down there to the link below and check out our American Cancer Society eBay page, where funds go to help fight cancer, so definitely go and check that out. Number 8, we have this Bev Doolittle. This is a limited edition Escape by a Hair painting, etching, print, as you can see here. It did come with a little bit of information on the artist. As you can see here, the back is very well done professionally. It says right here, museum mounted, as you can see here. Covina 818, that's local. This is from Stockton, California, so huge shout out to Paula. This is a really nice sale. As we can see here, this was signed in like some sort of pen, as we can see here. Or actually, that might actually be pencil. And it is dated. I don't think it's dated. It's numbered. And like I said, this was a really good sale. This sold for a total of $348. And this is stuff you can find at Goodwills still. Though they're starting to get a little bit better with their art. But you can really still find some art pieces at Goodwill and different thrift shops that they really don't know what they have, especially if it's not signed. And you happen to know the particular style or brand or the different things, definitely, there's still that kind of stuff out there to be found. There's still $1 million paintings out there, probably, like people find those things. I don't want to say all the time, but I'm always hearing of stories every few years of someone that finds a really amazing statue, bowl, painting at a garage sale that goes for hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars. So there's definitely, if you're not into art, definitely start getting into art. I have a video on art. As a matter of fact, I'll leave a link above if I can remember. That's one of the things I say. Oh, I'll leave a link below, above, all around the town. And I forget to go back and put those links in. But, you can go and search through my library and find those. Next up, this is number 7. This is a Michael Westergaard statue, as you can see here, from 1833. It's not really from 1833. It's probably a reproduction of an original piece done. As you can see here, nice little piece. Really kind of small, to be honest, little statues. We've talked about statues before in the past. They're definitely something to look out for, especially bronzes. There's really not much to say about these, though. There are fakes out there, and I don't want to be all have everyone all paranoid about fakes and reproductions, but some bronzes, especially what's that guy's name that does the Western ones? Oh, I'm surprised I don't remember this. It's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember. It's I want to say Winchester, but that's not it. It's that's the rifle. Oh my God, he's one of my favorite. It's not Rembrandt. It's one of my favorite. Remington. There we go. I knew it was one of those guns. Remington's statues, the legitimate ones, are worth so much money, but there's also lots of reproductions. So finding a Remington, even Remington, I think did paintings too, and some of those original Remington. I can't believe I already ran off on a little rant about Remington. This sold for a total of $446. So if you ever find statues at thrift shops or garage sales, definitely look them up. All you need to do is you look up the name of the artist And sometimes I didn't sell this one, so I don't know the total details of this inside and out. But sometimes on the around the base, no, not the wood base, but the actual metal piece, there'll be a date and a signature. I don't see one on here. It's usually on the back side. Let's see if we can see it. Oh, I think I see something. See, right dab in the middle. Actually, no, that's just part of the sculpture. Because sometimes they're impressed. They're stamped, like little stamps on the back. I thought that rock had one of them. But anyways, like I said, these are pretty much easy to look up. The hardest statues are going to be the ones that don't have any information on them. And I've came across a fair amount of those in my time. So if you can't find any information, like I said, always check the metal bases and the backs. Because sometimes they're etched. Not etched. Kind of like the originals are kind of, you know, in the clay. They kind of write their names or their dates or something like that. Initials is a common thing, so sometimes you need to do some crazy research on these, and those are the ones that usually are going to be worth a ton of money because people, you know, just pass it up and think, oh, you know, I don't want to spend the time to look this up. So anyways, definitely look out for statues. Next up we have this silverware. This is a sterling silver Royal Danish. This is number 6, by the way. International 4-piece place setting, 16 pieces of silver. And we've talked about silverware in the past, and I think I actually might probably make a dedicated video on silverware. This stuff is still out there. A lot of people know about the sterling marks on the backs of forks, but there's also different marks to look out for too, and I'm going to make another video of that. So if you're into that kind of stuff, definitely go down there. Click the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Click the bell for notifications so you get notified when one of those helpful videos comes out, and that really helps out the algorithm. So definitely go down there and subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll make a silverware video at some point, just like I'll make a camera video at some point. This sold for a total of $460. This is a really good sale, and that was only for 16 pieces. Silver is, I think, past $25 or $26. It's like $27. It's up in that area. So if you have any silver lying around, it might be a good time to look into selling it. This isn't financial advice or anything, because it could go higher. I think like 10 years ago, maybe silver was like at 30 something, 40 something dollars an ounce, which is, you know, pretty close to double what it is now. And so, you know, you don't want to sell it now and then it go up, but it also can go down. So it's like you got to kind of know. Well, really, no one knows what's going to happen with silver, but you could see with the government printing a bunch of money and things like that, it's just only natural for things like silver and gold to go up, and because the dollar's worth less. And so here's another kind of thing that people really don't consider, and I hate to go in a side rant, and I apologize for that. And if you like these side rants, please leave a comment below, because if you don't, then I just won't do them. But anyways, the side rant about something like silver or gold, that the price, you think the price goes up. It really doesn't. It really means that the value of the dollar goes down. So, you know, people talk about like, oh, I can't wait till gold goes to $5,000 an ounce. Well, that's only because your dollar's worth less. It doesn't mean that your dollar still has $5,000 worth of buying power. It has incredibly less. So that's something also to think about. And I highly suggest, here's my last little rant before we go again. If you're, you know, I definitely say if you have a 401k or anything like that, definitely buy a little bit of silver and gold. Physically own it. Don't buy stocks of gold or stocks of silver. That's stupid. Have some silver or some gold at home in a safe, in a safe. A couple coins. If you come across it, just put it to the side, because you know, at some point, you know, that might be worth a ton of money, and it's good to hedge against all this inflation. Anyways, okay, that is my rant for the day for my financial advice, and that was not a financial advice, by the way. Next up, number 5, we have cameras. That was actually a pretty good segue about talking about how I've said I was going to make a camera video, and I never did it. And I really should make a camera video. There's so much to talk about cameras, and I will make a dedicated video at some point. So like I said, if you're not subscribed, go down there, subscribe, click the bell, and let's get into the cameras. This was just basically lotted up together. We had a huge, and when I say huge, I'm talking like 20 bankers boxes full of camera equipment. And I had to put these all together and kind of clean them up a little bit. It was a lot of work to sell this stuff, by the way. And I just decided I'm just going to lot some of these cameras together in like less than 10, so like 10, 9, 8 cameras, kind of light cameras. I would kind of group them together, like all Nikons, you know, all Canons, things like that. This sold for a total of $476. I always list these as untested, by the way, because film cameras, and by the way, these are film cameras, which means you have to put the 35 millimeter film in the back, and I'm guessing people under 20 years old might not know what the hell I'm talking about when I talk about film, which is sad. That means I'm getting old. When even cassettes, if you ask a teenager what a cassette is, they probably wouldn't even know what that is. Anyways, I'm going off on a I digress. So definitely, if you're selling cameras, sell them as untested for parts and repair, unless you know the different things. I know the different things, like what to check, but for this lot, it's just easier to say untested for parts and repair, sell it, get rid of it, move on, unless it's a really high-end camera, because testing these you can test it to a certain point, but without putting film through it, running film through it, developing film, all that stuff, you can't really truly test these cameras. You can test a lot of the mechanical components, like the shutter speed and the backs opening and the lenses, the focusing, and all this kind of the light meters, the battery compartments, those kind of things. But it's hard to actually physically test this 100%. So I usually sell these as untested parts and repair. 99% of the time it's cool, but every once in a while we'll get a customer that I sold a camera to, even though it specifically said for parts and repair, they will complain that it doesn't work. And I'm just like, I sold this as like parts and repair, like it's not my problem, but we take care of them because that's what we do. So this sold for a total of $476 for this complete collection, and this is a really good sale. Next up, we have another great collection of cameras. This is another Nikon lenses. Lenses is another thing to talk about, which I'm not going to talk about here because I think I've already burned enough of your time, and we haven't even gone through half of the stuff. We'll talk about lenses at another point. Sometimes the lenses are worth way more than the cameras, and there's some brands to look out for, and we'll do another video at some point, so that's what I'm saying. Definitely go down there and subscribe to the channel. This sold for a total of $692. There's another untested lot. We've already pretty much talked a lot about this kind of stuff. Real quick, I guess I can drop some nuggets on everyone. Usually in the very front of the camera, it's going to have the brand. Nikon's the brand. Usually on the side is going to be the type, basically the model number, or the model. This is a Nikon FG. And sometimes, I don't think I have any of those photos in this one, but sometimes the stuff won't say anything. Oh, this is a good example. Nikon doesn't say anything on the side. If you flip the camera around to the other side of this little dial, there'll be some serial numbers, and it usually starts with a letter like a F or something like that. And so that's how you can look it up. It'll say like F and then like a huge string of numbers, just like the string of numbers on this. And this is a Nikon 35 millimeter lens, 2.8. That's not bad. We can get into that. It's like I said, I'll do a lens. I should probably, I guess probably a camera and a lens video would be too much. I should probably split those videos up, because lenses are one thing, cameras are another. And like I said, this sold for a total of $692 with tax and shipping. Next up, this is number 3. This is another Royal Danish silverware setting, flatware. This has kind of been the theme of the last couple of months. We've really been getting in some crazy collections of silverware, spoons, just silver's been hot. As you can see here, I can't really zoom into there. And it doesn't say sterling on anywhere in here. Maybe it says it on the stems. Can't really zoom in here. Usually on the backs of the necks is where it'll say sterling. This one actually happens to say Royal Danish on the end right there. International Atlantis, which is interesting because it doesn't have anything. Here's another thing too about silverware sets, is every once in a while you'll get ones that won't be marked sterling and they're actually sterling. And so those are the ones that you usually find at like a Goodwill or a garage sale for people that just don't know what they have. So just definitely be on the lookout for that kind of stuff. And it's hard to kind of tell without a magnet. If you have a magnet and any of this stuff sticks to a magnet, of course it's not going to be silver. But I know everyone doesn't just, walk around with a magnet in their pocket unless they're weird like me. But it's one of those things to look out for. This sold for a total of $850, so keep a lookout for silverware. I've seen silverware sets in boxes like this go for $14, $15, $16, $2,000. So, just be aware that different brands, different companies, sometimes the companies have a lot to do with the value, but for the most part, people are buying this stuff for the silver content because right now precious metals are on a surge, like I said before. Number 2, speaking of silver, we have this amazing teapot. This is Mexican silver Taxco, as we can see here. And I'll show you the marks on this one because this is one that I did, and I show the marks on mine. Let me see here. There we go. Sterling 925 Mexico. If you ever see 925 or sterling on anything, buy it if the price is right. That means that it's worth more probably than what someone's asking for, because a lot of people sometimes they just get rid of this stuff. They don't look underneath. This was a matching set, and just like Asian kind of art and Asian ceramics, it's all about the sets and the pairs. This sold for a total of $1,449, as we can see there. And this is a really nice set. And it had some use wear to it. I think I showed a picture of the cracked handle. Where is the cracked handle? I know this one was the cracked handle one. Where are you, cracked handle? Actually, you know what? This wasn't the cracked handle one. This was another. God, I've sold so many of these things. I'm already losing my mind on which ones are which. This handle actually had some. It was kind of loose though, but I did mention that. This set would look actually pretty sweet once it's all polished up and everything. Silver has a really good way of tarnishing. Silver plate has a really kind of rainbowy effect in the tarnish, so that's another way to tell about plate. And like I said, that's a whole other video in itself. We have some actually BOLO stuff coming up, so don't you want to stick around? You're almost to the end. If you made it this far, leave a comment below. Tell me if you tell me if you made it this far. I mean, shit. I've been ranting about silver and cameras and all kinds of stuff. So I really appreciate everyone being here. I miss doing these videos. It's been a while. It's been like over a month since I did a video, and I got the itch to do YouTube stuff. So I'm back. Number 1 is more silverware. Big surprise, right? This says $1,000, and we're going to talk about that in a second. It's way higher than this, and I'm going to tell you why that says 1,000. Because eBay's stupid. No, just kidding. I love eBay, but they do stupid stuff. And one of the stupid things that they do is when something sells. So basically, this started as an auction, right? Started at $1,000, and someone took a best offer. We took a best offer for $1,726. Okay. Now, eBay, when it shows the ended listing, it's just going to show the first bid, like basically whatever your initial bid. So if we put this set at 99 cents and someone made an offer for $1,700 and we took it, at the end of if you click on solds, it'll show 99 cents. That's how dumb this is. eBay could really, I don't know why they do that. I'm sure it's an algorithm, not an algorithm. I'm sure it's like a coding thing. It's just the way the system's always been. But one of the features I think would be great if eBay actually shows actual sold prices in their completed listings. That's just a little rant for mine. Whatever. I have WorthPoint. We're going to talk about WorthPoint in a second. It's $20 a month. As a matter of fact, I should probably put my affiliate links to WorthPoint. Actually, I think I said I was going to make a WorthPoint video. Oh my God, I got to make all these videos for you. I love it. What do I got to do? The camera video, the silver video, the art video. There's not enough time. Anyways, it sold for a total of $1,726. This was the number 1 item sold. And where are you, silver? And of course, it's upside down. I think that says sterling. This wasn't my sale. It's a huge shout out to Rancho Mirage. Carol with the amazing sale this month. As we can see here, there is not really too many. This is actually a really nice set. Not too many photos in this one, especially any close-ups that we can actually see the sterling mark. But I think I see it upside down there, a little bit of a sterling mark right there. So the moment y'all been waiting for, we got to the end of the video. I'm going to show you a hidden bolo. Well, it's not really. Well, I guess it's a hidden bolo. It is Dominique Arietis fashion jewelry. This is gold tone. This is not real gold. We had a huge collection of this stuff come in. I never heard of this artist. It's basically like a fashion, I want to say a fashion person out of France, I want to say. And this is what the logo looks like. Yeah, Paris. Dominique Arietis. And I'm probably pronouncing that really wrong. But Dominique for sure is... it just reminded me of the time, what was his name? Don the auction professor would always call Dominic, the primetime treasure hunter, Dominique. I haven't seen any of those guys' videos in a long time. I wonder if he still calls them Dominique every once in a while. That was like the best times. I felt like the third wheel in that whole trio, so I had to leave, and you know, those guys continue to do their own thing, so which is really cool. Anyways, let's look at some of Dominique Arietis, and like I said, probably pronouncing that wrong. You can see here some of this fashion jewelry goes for hundreds of dollars. There's some crazy pieces. There's some gold-plated stuff. Now, I could have sworn I saw some actual gold pieces from her, and I'm not completely sure. Gold-plated. Just look for this name. There's so many things that are worth over $100 that she's done. For the most part, this chunky jewelry, they call it chunky when it's kind of like, I guess that's really a great way to describe it, is chunky, but that's what it's called in the jewelry kind of business. I'm not really a jewelry guy, but I've learned so much over the last 2 years working for the American Cancer Society. I think that's one of the greatest things too, not only helping people fight cancer, but to also learn so much more stuff that I had no idea about. Is especially jewelry and women's clothing, women's shoes, women's handbags. Everything that I've been weak at, I've gained strength in the strength of the knowledge, because knowledge is power and learning is earning. And if you enjoyed this video, definitely go down there, click the subscribe button, click the like button, even though I hear the like button doesn't really do shit. It's all about the watch time, and so just watch the videos, share the videos, tell your dog about the videos. Give him a treat. Tell the dog about the videos. He'll be stoked. He probably won't even understand English, but they try. Anyways, I'm Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler. We'll see you next time. Take care.